And one Emmy Award-winning actor who will not be tuning into the award show this weekend is John Leguizamo. Now, this week, the actor told Yahoo News that he is boycotting the Emmys because of a lack of Latino representation. At more than 60 million strong, the Latino population in the United States is already the largest ethnic group in the country. Joining us now is a man who is taking it upon himself to not only educate, but is also on a mission to eradicate the erasure of Latinos in history, the arts, and beyond. Mr. John Leguizamo. John, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. That's quite an intro.
With the drum roll and everything.
I appreciate you.
So you've been nominated multiple times for Emmys. You've also won an Emmy. What do you think caused the Academy to fall so short this year when it comes to including Latinos?
Well, obviously, it's a reverse engineering problem. You know, it's not really the Emmys that are the problem. It's before that, like who's casting, what stories are they telling? If you don't create great Latin roles, how are we going to get nominated? If you don't tell Latin stories, how do we get nominated? It's impossible. You know, if you're not casting us, we're not getting awarded.
And your new movie, Critical Thinking, is based on the true story of 5 Miami teens who defied the odds and went on to become national chess champions. The movie hits on so much intersectionality. I want to play a quick clip that captures some of that in a scene between you and the principal of the high school.
Give up on them, let their parents give up on them, let the whole system give up on them. But you know what? I ain't, okay?
You really capture the obstacles of an underfunded education system, poverty, prejudice, even immigration that this teacher, Mario Martinez, had to overcome just so these kids could play chess. Why was it so important for you to make sure that this story was told?
Well, because I believe there's so many gifted, talented, genius Latin and Black kids in our communities that don't get nurtured, that don't get seen, that don't get the money or the supplies. And it's tragic. But this one teacher, Mario Martinez, in 1998, got them the nurturing they needed, saw them, respected them, and got them the money to become United States national chess champions, which is an incredible feat at any time at any economic group.
In a recent interview with the Associated Press, you said Latinos are 25% of the U.S. box office, we're 30% of the public school population, and our kids don't see themselves. It's incredible. It's like we're living in a cultural apartheid, like we don't exist. We're here, we contribute money, taxes, and yet we're virtually invisible. Given the current climate with social change and justice happening in our country, do you believe that real change is coming for the Latino community?
I really feel like it's starting to really happen. I feel publishers are really reaching out. Studios are reaching out. Production companies are really reaching out and asking themselves, what can we do to be inclusive? And you know, that New York Times article that showed exactly how many Latin and Black people and Asian people are the gatekeepers, are the leaders, are the executives, and you saw the dearth. And I think that's where the problem happens, is because if you have Latin people and Black people telling, and LGBTQ and women telling their stories and picking the stories, you're going to see those stories.
The Latin community has been disproportionately impacted by COVID in multiple ways, particularly because they're overrepresented in many of the industries considered essential. In your one-act Broadway play, Latin History for Morons, you talk about the role of the Latino worker in the U.S. At one point, you even say Latin life is cheap in America. This pandemic has been a painful time for so many, but how has it impacted you personally, seeing your community hit so hard?
Well, you know, it's sad, you know, knowing that they're not getting the respect that they deserve, especially in New York City. The neighborhood that I grew up, Jackson Heights, was the hardest hit in New York. The most deaths, the most infections, obviously, because you're right. Like you said, they're the essential workers. They're the ones feeding us, growing the food and delivering it and making sure that we're getting fed and taken care of about almost all our services. So it's sad that such a community that's willing to give and serve America in so many ways doesn't get that love back. So that's where I think the problem lies.
Of course, it's a presidential election year, and you've thrown your support behind Joe Biden. Which of his platforms do you think really prove that he understands the needs and the nuance of the Latino community?
Well, I think the jobs creation is huge. I think the protecting the Affordable Care Act and protecting pre-existing conditions, that's huge for the Latin community. And I'm glad that he's behind all those platforms.
John Leguizamo, ladies and gentlemen, we so appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for your time, John.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. You're the best.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.